Hey everyone, this is another Centaur series video. This is a quicker one, and I'm going to show you how to use retopology to create clothing for a character. This is the Centaur model that I showed in the video I posted just a few days ago. I just got done retopologizing this, and I'm going to use the same add-on, Retopoflow, to create a shirt for this character. All of the different methods for using Retopoflow in this way can be done in normal Blender without any extra add-ons, but I find the tools of Retopoflow to be super useful and just really convenient. And the reason using a retopology method is good for clothing is that the mesh that you're drawing applies directly to the target or the character in this case. So it's easy to control basically the inside of the clothing, or really you're just tracing it on top of the model. And I'll show here in a bit how you can thicken it so that it looks more realistic, and then you don't have any clipping problems. So here I've just modeled the shape of the shirt. I'm adding a little extra detail just to make sure that the shirt will be smooth enough, have enough points to work with. And here I incorrectly used the skin modifier to try to add thickness. Don't do that, obviously. That about crashed Blender. And here was the result. So then trying to remove that modifier also attempted to crash Blender. So what you really want is the solidify modifier, and that just adds thickness to whatever object you have selected. So now the shirt has thickness, and the mesh is very clean because of how I built it. And here I'm doing a little sculpting just to smooth it out so that it looks more loose-fitting and not so much of a direct copy of the mesh. I need to UV unwrap it, which will allow Blender to apply a material. Now that I have UVs, I'm using another app, Substance Painter, to apply a leather material. And I can change the color, and this material has a few other settings you can change. Color variation and some of the smaller details on the leather. And then I will also use a stitch brush to add a little more interest to the model. And this just makes it look like it was handmade and is not all one uniform piece. Okay, now I export back to Blender. And back in Blender now, I can apply those materials directly to my shirt object. And with a little bit of tweaking, I get the displacement and the finer grains and the finer details to look a little bit better with Blender shading. I think that looks good. So now I'm going to turn back on the character model, and you can see the bottom of the model looks pretty good. I've been using stencil painting method. The top of it had the tree texture to it because that was just on the top of the stencil. So I'm gonna quickly add some skin to the top of the model so that it looks more correct. And this is back in Substance Painter again. Just adding a fairly smooth skin material with minor tweaks, and in the same way bringing the material onto the model in Blender and using a few mods to make it look better. And here is the result of the shirt on the model. this week, in the next videos, I'll do some more hair particles. I've had the hair particles and all the textures done before, but I'm just rebuilding this model right now. So very soon I'll do new hair, a little bit more paint, and then get to some animations. Check out the rest of the series to see how I got to this point. Well, thanks for watching.